You're not failing because the economy is bad. You're not stuck because you don't have talent. You're not broke because you weren't born into the right family. You're failing because you've inherited a philosophy that was designed for someone else. And the hardest part? That philosophy is whispering to you right now, telling you it's someone else's fault. That's the disease. And this is the cure. See, there's a version of you that exists in 2027. Not a fantasy version, not a someday version, a real version. And that version is either going to thank you or curse you. The question isn't whether you'll change. The question is whether you'll change on purpose or by accident. Because the man or woman you'll become is not a mystery. They're the direct result of the daily decisions you're making right now, today, this week, this month. And if that future version of you is broke, lonely, and tired, that's not bad luck. That's not the universe being unfair. That's arithmetic. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. Your life isn't complicated. Your situation is. But your life is following a simple equation. Philosophy, attitude, behavior, results, lifestyle. That's it. That's the whole thing. Right now, most people are trying to change their results by working harder at the behavior level. They're saying, I'll just work more hours. I'll just push harder. I'll just find more motivation. But they're ignoring the foundation. They're ignoring philosophy. See, you could have the perfect plan and still fail. You could have the best strategy in the world and still be broke by next year. Because if your philosophy is broken, everything that sits on top of it is just expensive failure with better shoes. So let me ask you this. What is your philosophy about money? About your potential? About discipline? About failure? Not what do you say your philosophy is. Not what sounds good on social media. But what do you actually believe? Because your beliefs are like the root system of a tree. Most people are looking at the leaves, trying to make them greener, trying to make them bigger. But if the roots are poisoned, all you're doing is killing yourself slowly with a better perspective. Here's what most people believe, and they don't even know they believe it. Someone else is responsible for my success. It's the government's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's my boss. It's my parents. It's my circumstances. That belief system is a cage. And the worst part? It feels true. But truth and reality are not the same thing. Your circumstances might be real, but your philosophy about your circumstances determines whether you're a victim or a victor. Jim Rohn taught us something that most people refuse to accept. You can't reap what you don't sow. This isn't mystical. This isn't spiritual babble. This is agriculture. A farmer doesn't go out in spring and say, I'm wishing for corn. He doesn't sit in his house and imagine a harvest. He doesn't post a picture of corn on social media. He gets up. He prepares the soil. He plants the seed. He waters it. He removes the weeds. He tends it day after day after day. And then he gets a harvest. The farmer knows something you've forgotten. There are no shortcuts in nature. Now, what are you sowing? Are you sowing discipline, or are you sowing habits that keep you weak? Are you sowing knowledge, or are you sowing ignorance? Are you sowing integrity, or are you sowing excuses? Because I want to tell you something that changed my life. You will not rise above the seeds you sow, period. And here's the tragedy. Most people know this. Deep down they know, but they keep asking the wrong question. They keep asking, when will it be easy? They keep asking, when will it be fair? They keep asking, why do I have to do this? But the real question is, what do I need to sow to reap the life I actually want? See, most people are living on a timetable that doesn't exist. They're waiting for the right opportunity, the right moment, the right market, the right boss, the right partner. And while they're waiting, someone else is sowing, someone else is working, someone else is building discipline, someone else is learning. And you know what happens? That person reaps, and then we call them lucky. But luck is just preparation meeting opportunity. And preparation only comes from sowing. Here's a question for you. What would happen to your life if you exercised the same discipline with your goals that you do with your phone. Think about that. When your phone battery is low, you don't say, "I'll just wait until it's convenient to charge it." You find a charger. You make it happen. That's discipline. When you're hungry, you don't say, "I'll wait until conditions are perfect to eat." You find food. That's discipline. But when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to your potential, when it comes to your future, suddenly, discipline feels like punishment. Suddenly, it feels optional. Suddenly, you're waiting for motivation. But let me tell you something Jim Rohn knew in his bones. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the price of freedom. Think about that. The most free people on the planet are the most disciplined, not the least. The entrepreneur who controls their time, that's discipline. The athlete who controls their body, that's discipline. The person who controls their thoughts, that's discipline. And yet, we've been taught to believe that discipline is restrictive. We've been sold a lie. You want to know what's actually restrictive? Debt, addiction, mediocrity, living someone else's life. That's restrictive. But discipline is the narrow gate that leads to freedom. And here's what makes it worse. We don't see the cost of indiscipline. We see it as freedom in the moment. I'm free to sleep in. I'm free to skip the workout. I'm free to eat what I want. But you're not free. You're just deferring the payment, and the bill always comes due. See, I talk to people all the time who are drowning in regret. They're 45 years old, and they say, "I should have started earlier." They're overweight, and they say, "I should have started the diet." They're broke, and they say, "I should have invested." But it's too late to pay with discipline, so they pay with regret. And regret is much, much more expensive than discipline. Regret costs you the years. Discipline costs you the Netflix subscription. Which one would you choose? I want to tell you a story. It's not new. It's ancient. But it applies to you right now. Two farmers. Same village. Same soil. Same weather. Same opportunities. Farmer A wakes up at 4:30 a.m. He's not a morning person, but he does it anyway. That's discipline. He walks his fields and checks the soil. He knows what to look for. That's knowledge. He plants with intention, not randomly, not hoping, with intention. That's clarity. He waters, he tends, he removes weeds. He does this for months. No results yet, no payoff yet. That's faith. Farmer B? Farmer B is sleeping until 8. Farmer B is checking on his crops once a week. Farmer B is hoping for rain instead of building irrigation. Farmer B is complaining about the market instead of improving his yield. Both farmers wait for the season to end. When the harvest comes, Farmer A has abundance. Farmer B has just enough. Maybe not even that. Farmer B looks at Farmer A and says, "You're so lucky." But it wasn't luck. It was the small decisions compounded over time. It was 4:30 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. It was knowledge instead of guessing. It was daily tending instead of weekly checking. It was intention instead of hope. Now, which farmer are you right now? And here's what's critical. You don't have to be Farmer B next year. The season hasn't started yet. You still have time to change your philosophy. You still have time to start sowing differently. But only if you accept this truth. You can't be lazy and rich at the same time. You can't be undisciplined and free at the same time. You can't be negligent and successful at the same time. Those equations don't work in nature, and they don't work in life. Here's something Jim Rohn said that nobody talks about anymore. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Think about that. School teaches you a job, but it doesn't teach you how to build wealth. It doesn't teach you how to think. It doesn't teach you how to lead. It doesn't teach you how to speak. It doesn't teach you how to sell. It teaches you compliance, and compliance doesn't build empires. So here's the question. After you finish school, do you stop learning? Because that's what most people do. They get their diploma and they think, okay, I'm educated now. They close the book. They stop reading. They stop learning. And you know what that means? Their thinking stops evolving. Their income stays the same. Their perspective stays frozen in time. But here's the beautiful part. The person who reads one book a year isn't more educated than the person who reads 0 books a year. They're transformed. The person who listens to one educational podcast a day isn't slightly better informed than the person who listens to 0. They're operating from a completely different reality. Because compound learning is more powerful than any other force in your life. Think about this. If you read one book a month, that's 12 books a year. In 10 years, that's 120 books. You'll know more about life than 99% of the people on the planet. But we don't think that way. We think, one book won't matter. True, one book won't matter. But 120 books? 120 books will rebuild your brain. So here's what most weak people do. They wait for the perfect book. They wait for the perfect course. They wait for the perfect mentor. But here's what strong people do. They read good books, even if they're not perfect. They take imperfect courses. They learn from imperfect mentors. Because they understand that imperfect education is better than no education. And every single day, they're getting stronger. I want you to understand something that most people get wrong. You don't need a massive transformation. You need a small discipline, multiplied. See, most people look at someone successful and they think, wow, they must have done something huge. But usually that's not true. Usually they did something small, 1,000 times. The person with perfect abs didn't do one massive workout. They did a 20-minute workout, over and over and over. The person with $1 million didn't make one massive sale. They made small sales, consistently, over time. The person with an amazing relationship didn't have one perfect moment. They had 10,000 small moments of kindness, patience, and presence. This is what kills most people's dreams. They're waiting for the big break. But big breaks don't exist. What exists is small disciplines, repeated. So here's what I want you to understand. You don't need to be amazing at everything. You need to be disciplined at a few things. Just a few things. What if you committed to reading 20 minutes a day? Exercise 30 minutes a day. One difficult conversation or important task per day. Investing 1 hour a day in your skill. That's it. That's barely anything. That's only 2 hours a day. And yet, in 1 year, you would have read 30 plus books. You would have worked out 180 plus hours. You would have completed 365 difficult conversations or tasks. You would have invested 365 hours into mastery. Do you understand what you would become? You wouldn't be the same person. You wouldn't recognize yourself. But here's the catch. It's not easy. Not because it's hard, but because it's boring. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's just showing up. Day after day after day. And that's why most people won't do it. Because they're waiting for it to feel good. They're waiting for motivation. They're waiting for inspiration. But discipline isn't about feeling good. Discipline is about doing the thing anyway. Let me tell you about the most dangerous word in the English language. Later. Later I'll start that business. Later I'll go back to school. Later I'll fix the relationship. Later I'll get healthy. Later I'll learn that skill. And years go by. And later becomes never. See, right now you think you have unlimited time. You think, I'm young, I can start next year. But you're not thinking about the math. Let's say you're 30 years old. Let's say you live to 90. That's 60 years left. That sounds like a lot, until you break it down. 60 years is 30 times what you've already lived. But if you've spent the last 30 years sleeping, eating, working, and not building, why would the next 30 be different? Most people don't change because they don't feel the urgency. They think, I'll do it when I'm ready. But readiness is a feeling, not a condition. The condition is now. The condition is always now. And the person who understands that will be a completely different person in 5 years than the person who's still waiting. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to fast forward to 2031, 5 years from now. What does your life look like? Are you the same person, or are you someone completely different? Now, here's the hard part. That difference you're imagining, that only happens if you start now. Not when you feel ready. Not when the time is right. Not when the conditions are perfect. Now. Because every day you wait is a day that person you want to become is not being built. Think about it like this. If you wanted to build a house, would you wait until you felt like it? No. You'd hire a contractor. You'd break ground. You'd start building. But for your life, for your character, for your skills, you're waiting for a feeling. And that feeling will never come. Because feelings follow action. They don't precede it. One of the most misunderstood things about life is this. Failure is not permanent. It's a season. See, most people treat failure like it's a destination. They fail once and they think, okay, I'm a failure, and they never try again. But that's not how nature works. Winter always comes. Every single year. Sometimes it's harsh. Sometimes it's mild. But it always comes. And farmers don't stop being farmers because winter exists. They understand. Winter is a season. Spring will come. But here's what most people do. They experience one winter, one loss, one mistake, one setback, and they forget about spring. They forget that seasons change. So they give up. And they say things like, I tried, and it didn't work, so I'm not meant to succeed. I failed once, so I'm a failure. The economy is bad right now, so there's no point in trying. But all of that is just a misunderstanding of seasons. Here's what strong people know. Winter teaches you how to prepare for spring. Loss teaches you how to value what you have. Failure teaches you what doesn't work, so you can try what does. So the question isn't, will I face a difficult season? The question is, what will I learn during this season that makes me stronger? Because every season serves a purpose. Right now, maybe you're in a winter. Maybe business is slow. Maybe the relationship is hard. Maybe the goal seems impossible. But that's just a season. And if you understand that, you don't despair. You prepare. You learn. You build. You strengthen your roots so that when spring comes, you're ready. Most people do the opposite. They despair in winter and they squander spring. Then they blame the calendar for their failure. Here's something nobody wants to hear. You can't change the other person. You can't change the government. You can't change the economy. You can't change the past. You can only change you. But that's the hardest thing to accept, isn't it? Because it means the power was always in your hands. And if the power was always in your hands, then whose fault is this? That's the realization that transforms people. I talk to people who are broke, and they say, the system is rigged. Maybe it is, but you're still broke, aren't you? I talk to people who are unhealthy, and they say, food companies are evil. Maybe they are, but you're still unhealthy, aren't you? I talk to people who are lonely, and they say, people don't understand me. Maybe they don't, but you're still lonely, aren't you? And at some point, you have to ask yourself, are these problems or are these excuses? Because there's a difference. A problem is something external that affects you. An excuse is something external that you use to avoid responsibility. And here's the dangerous part. You can talk about problems all day. Other people will listen. Other people will sympathize. Other people will validate your victim story. And it will feel good. It will feel like you have allies. But it won't change anything. Because the only person who can change your life is you. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Stop blaming the mirror for what you see. The mirror isn't bad. The mirror is just honest. And if you don't like what you see, the solution isn't to break the mirror. The solution is to change what you're reflecting. That means, if you're broke, stop blaming the economy and start blaming your spending habits. If you're unhealthy, stop blaming your genes and start blaming your choices. If you're lonely, stop blaming other people and start blaming your vulnerability. Because the moment you take responsibility, you take power. And the moment you take power, you can change things. I want to tell you something about identity. Your identity isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And you build it one day at a time. See, people think they can be one person during the week and a different person on the weekend. They think they can be irresponsible now and responsible later. They think they can have one identity for their job and another identity for their personal life. But that's not how identity works. Identity is the sum total of the decisions you make. Every decision either builds you or breaks you. So when you hit the snooze button instead of getting up, you're voting for laziness. When you eat the whole pizza instead of eating one slice, you're voting for indulgence. When you avoid the difficult conversation instead of having it, you're voting for cowardice. And do it once, nobody cares. Do it 100 times, now you're a lazy, indulgent, cowardly person. That's not judgment, that's just math. But here's the beautiful part. The opposite is also true. When you get up early, you're voting for discipline. When you stop after one slice, you're voting for wisdom. When you have the difficult conversation, you're voting for courage. Do it once, nobody cares. Do it 100 times, now you're a disciplined, wise, courageous person. That's your real identity. Not what you tell people, not what you post on social media, but what you actually do when nobody's watching. So here's the question. What identity are you building? Because that identity is the one that will determine your results. Jim Rohn called this the slight edge. It's not about massive change. It's about making better decisions than average. And you don't need to make better decisions than the best people on the planet. You just need to make better decisions than average. That's it. If 50% of people wake up early and 50% hit snooze, and you choose to wake up early, you're in the top 50%. But most people don't even do that. They choose the snooze button, and then they wonder why they're not successful. But successful people don't wake up every morning and think, wow, I'm so disciplined. They just wake up. They just do it. They just keep building. And one day, they wake up and they're a completely different person than they were 5 years ago. And that person is free. I want to paint you a picture. Imagine that your life is a building. Your foundation is your philosophy, what you believe about yourself and the world. Your walls are your habits, what you do every single day. Your roof is your results, the life you're living. Now, most people focus on the roof. They try to change the results without changing the foundation or the walls. And it doesn't work. A beautiful roof on a bad foundation is just an expensive disaster waiting to happen. So let me ask you, what is your foundation? Do you believe you're capable? Do you believe you deserve success? Do you believe you can change? Do you believe the effort is worth the result? Because if your foundation is built on doubt, fear, and blame, then no amount of work will save you. But if your foundation is built on responsibility, capability, and vision, then you become unstoppable. Now, given your foundation, what walls are you building? Are you building walls of discipline or walls of procrastination? Are you building walls of learning or walls of ignorance? Are you building walls of action or walls of waiting? Because those walls will hold up your roof. And the roof that sits on top, the results you're living right now, that's just the physical manifestation of what's underneath. You can't have a nice roof on a bad foundation. You can't have results you love when your habits are killing you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get really honest about your foundation and your walls. Don't tell me what you wish your foundation was. Tell me what it actually is. Don't tell me what habits you wish you had. Tell me what habits you actually practice. Because that's the only way to change. You have to see the truth, and then you have to be willing to rebuild. And rebuilding is not fun. Rebuilding is not quick. Rebuilding is not easy. But it's the only way to change the roof. I want to talk to you about who you're becoming. Not who you are. Not who you were, but who you're becoming. Because right now, you're in the process of becoming someone. That process doesn't stop. It continues whether you're aware of it or not. The question is, are you becoming someone you admire or someone you're disappointed by? Because 1 year from now, you will be a different person. 2 years from now, you will be transformed. 5 years from now, you'll barely recognize yourself. But only if you're conscious about the transformation. Only if you're intentional. Only if you're taking responsibility for the person you're becoming. Most people just let it happen. They become bitter because they were disappointed over and over. They become weak because they quit too many times. They become small because they played it safe. And then they say, "This is just who I am." But that's not true. That's who you became. And you can become someone different. Starting now. See, the person you want to become is not waiting for the perfect conditions. They're waiting for the decision. They're waiting for you to look in the mirror and say, enough. Not enough as in I'm done, but enough as in I'm ready. Ready to change. Ready to grow. Ready to become someone new. Because right now, you're carrying around an old version of yourself like a weight. You're telling old stories about why you can't. You're reinforcing old beliefs about what you're limited to. You're defending an old identity that doesn't serve you anymore. And you're calling it loyalty. You're calling it consistency. You're calling it being realistic. But it's just fear. Fear that if you try, you might fail. Fear that if you change, people won't recognize you. Fear that the new version of you might be too much. But here's what I know. The person you want to become is worth the fear. The future version of you, healthy, successful, free, capable, is worth the temporary discomfort of change. And change will be uncomfortable. It will be hard. It will require you to do things you don't feel like doing. But that's not a reason to stay the same. That's a reason to go all in. Now I want to give you something practical. I want to give you the daily practice that will rebuild your life. This isn't magical. This isn't complicated. But it works. And it works because it's based on philosophy, not motivation. Here's the practice. Every single morning. 1. You wake up 30 minutes earlier than you normally do. 2. You spend 10 minutes in silence. No phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. 3. You reflect on this. Who do I need to become today to move toward the life I want? 4. You spend 20 minutes on one of these. Read, write, listen to something educational, or exercise. That's it. That's the entire practice. 30 minutes. Now, why this works? The silence reconnects you to your values. The reflection puts you in control of your identity. The practice, reading, writing, listening, moving, compounds over time. And here's the thing. If you do this every single day, you'll change. Not because you're special, not because you have more talent than anyone else, but because you're being consistent. Most people read one book and expect their life to change. Most people go to the gym once and expect to get fit. Most people go to therapy once and expect to be healed. But change doesn't work that way. Change works through repetition. Change works through doing the thing even when it's boring. Even when it doesn't feel motivating. Even when you can't see the results yet. That's the whole game. And after 30 days of this practice, you'll feel different. After 90 days, people will notice. After 365 days, you'll be a completely different person. And that different person will have a completely different life. But it all starts with the decision to wake up 30 minutes earlier. I want to tell you something about perspective. Everything you see depends on where you're standing. From where a child stands, an adult is powerful and scary. From where an adult stands, a parent is powerless and disappointing. From where a billion-dollar company stands, a million-dollar company seems small. From where a million-dollar company stands, a billionaire seems unreachable. But they're all just looking at different parts of the same reality. And what's powerful about this is this. You can shift your perspective. You can choose to look at your current situation as evidence of why you'll fail. Or you can choose to look at it as evidence that you need to change. Both perspectives are true, but one perspective keeps you stuck, and the other perspective liberates you. See, when you're broke, you can think, I'll never have money. Look at where I am. Or you can think, I'm here because I didn't know how to make money, but I can learn. Same situation, different perspective, different results. When you're out of shape, you can think, this is just how my body is. Or you can think, this is what happens when I don't prioritize health. I can change this. When you're alone, you can think, I'm unlovable. Or you can think, I haven't learned how to connect with people. I can learn. The situation doesn't change, but your power in that situation changes when your perspective changes. And that power is what creates momentum. That power is what makes you dangerous to your own limitations. I want to say something to you that might hurt. The version of you that exists today, that version is not going to get you to where you want to go. That version is who created your current situation, and you can't get a different result from the same person. So you have to change. And the good news is you already know that. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. Because some part of you is dying to become someone new. Some part of you is tired of the excuses. Some part of you is tired of waiting. Some part of you is tired of being small. Then that part of you is right. So here's my question. What are you going to do? Are you going to forget what you just heard? Are you going to go back to your old life and pretend this didn't hit you? Or are you going to choose to become someone new? Because this moment matters. This moment is the moment where the old version of you dies or gets another year. And I can't make that choice for you. Your best friend can't make that choice for you. Your parents can't make that choice for you. No amount of motivation can make that choice for you. Only you.